right, let's hit the field.
Well, you did it. Congratulations, you made it through the winter, and now baseball is back, baby. We got an opening day matchup between the Yankees and the Brewers. Carlos Rodon getting the opening day nod for the Yankees on the hill. Aaron Judge beginning his quest for a third MVP in 4 years. And we got the Yankee debuts of Paul Goldschmidt and Cody Bellinger, a couple of former MVPs. My recap, your reactions coming up next. It's baseball season, baby. Welcome to Pinstripe Territory.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
Talk about sweating one out there on opening day. Welcome back, everybody. Another season of Yankees baseball begins with a W. Let's see those W's in the chat. Austin Wells in the leadoff spot. For the first time ever in Yankees history, a catcher hit leadoff, and what does he do? Hits a home run. As Joe Girardi would say, it's what you want. And by the way, when we win, we wear the victory hat. We wear the victory hat. First win of the year. We talked a lot about how, without Juan Soto, some of the younger guys are going to have to step up this year. We called it mission improvement. And two of them homered in their first at-bat today. Anthony Volpe also went deep. In this sport, they call it the championship season. This is officially the 2025 championship season, but there can be only one champion. Is this the year that the Yankees end their drought? We shall see. I'll get to my predictions later. My name is Derek Lewandowski. I am the host of Pinstripe Territory, the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. What are all of your names? It used to be NYY Recaps. If you're just checking back in, we switched over to Pinstripe Territory when we joined the Foul Territory Network last August. And we're still here after every single game to recap Yankees games all season long. And I will give you the key takeaways when we get to the post-game recap in just a second. But first, a few quick news and notes, which is something we do on this channel. Ben Rice not only made the roster, but he switched his number from 93 to 22. He was the starting DH. Our former number 22, Juan Soto, with the Mets today, picked up his first hit, but Clay Holmes had a tough day. Right now, the Mets are down, last I checked. Oswald Peraza also made the team, although he has no options left, so you expected him to either make the team or be a DFA'd. He wasn't going to get sent down, but he hit only 160 this spring. His glove is elite, but I think a trade could be in his future. Oswaldo Cabrera played today, went 1 for 3 with a run scored, so off to a decent start. Speaking of trades, there's been some reports that the Yankees are looking to make an early season trade, still trying to pick up a right-handed bat. And Giancarlo Stanton, one of their big-time right-handed bats that they were counting on, has finally started swinging, but Boone said there is no timetable for his return. And another guy that they had, they hadn't talked about, but we had talked about potentially as a trade piece, Jordan Montgomery, is having his second Tommy John surgery. So get well soon. Obviously, he's going to miss the season, just like our guy, Garrett Cole. But we also found out today that Cody Poteet got DFA'd by the Cubs. He was the guy the Yankees traded for Cody Bellinger. So another move that works out for the Yankees. Would not be shocked at all if they re-sign him. I didn't see what he did this spring. I wasn't paying attention, but I liked what he did with the Yankees last year. All right, looks like the chat is filling up, about 500 in the chat. So let's go ahead and move on to the game. Franklin Lopez with the first super chat of the day says, not gonna lie, I was having cardiac Clay Holmes vibes. Me too, man. In that last inning, my heart was pumping. We'll get there, but appreciate the chat. So we'll talk about Carlos Rodon a little bit more in depth when we get to the pitching spotlight. But with a nice growth of beard today, he looked much more like the serial killer version of himself that we saw with the White Sox and the Giants. He was really sharp, made a solid case for himself for the belt. Go ahead and get your belt votes in the chat. But yeah, I thought his stuff was very sharp. Slider was good. Fastball was, 96. He had good command and pitched. If you look at the numbers, 5 1/3 innings and 1 run is a 1.69 ERA. So, you'll take that over the course of a full season. You'll take that every time out for sure. Jazz Chisholm, back at second base this year. Very nice play in the first inning. Much more range than Gleyber Torres and a better arm. He and Volpe looked like a good combination over there. I didn't see any double plays, but they had a couple of chances, and they have a really quick turn. So I'm liking what we're seeing from the double play keystone combination right now. Austin Wells, first catcher ever to lead off for the Yankees, and he tomahawked a high fastball into the short porch for a leadoff home run. 348 feet, 103.7 mile an hour exit velocity. Not the longest home run that you'll ever see for sure, but it counts just as much. Even if it's a wall scraper, even if it's in the first row, it counts. And it's funny, last night we did a little bit of a behind the scenes chat, and I asked you guys, who do you think is going to hit the first home run? And pretty much everybody who was in the chat at the time was like, Austin Wells. And so I was like, well, maybe he'll do it to lead off. And then I saw my guy, Aiden Bechamp, who does our social media. He tweeted last night around midnight. He said that Austin Wells home run is going to, hit like something else to lead off the game. So shout out to you, Aiden, for calling that one. Jason Dominguez grounded out to second base in his first at bat. And I immediately, because I'm a huge Jason Dominguez fan, got a text from a Yankee hater. Said, oh, he's overrated. He sucks. They shouldn't just let anybody watch baseball. Come on. But anyway, before I was able to tell him exactly where he can shove his cell phone, Anthony Volpe distracted me with a solo home run. His first of the year. Nice piece of hitting for Anthony Volpe. I'm working on redoing my store, and one of the phrases that I'm going to put on a t-shirt is Oppo Boppo. Anthony Volpe going Oppo Boppo. 373 feet, 103.8 mile an hour exit velocity. Hashtag Oppo Boppo in the chat.
This is Stephanie. Volpe's my guy. Home run. I'm so happy.
Love getting the calls from the happy Yankees fans. You can call in at 718-899-1068. We're going to play voicemails throughout the season this year, throughout the show. We also have a voicemail show that we do the day after game. So I'll be doing one 10:30 tomorrow morning. So call in with your thoughts on opening day. Cody Bellinger picked up his first hit as a Yankee. A hard 105 mile an hour base hit through the right side. A couple of years ago, that's probably an out because of the overshift. I can't tell you how many hits like that Mark Teixeira and Brian McCann had taken away, where you just rip it right by the first baseman, but the second baseman was playing, 15, 20 feet out into the grass and was able to throw him out at first base. So, that got through because of the rule change. And that's one of the reasons I think Bellinger can hit 300. You'll see him hit the ball to left field. You'll see him hit the ball up the middle. You'll see him pull it. He hit a number of shots down the line in spring training. Just a good all-around hitter. I think he's going to have a good year, look good in the outfield today. Although I did see him catch one on his heel. He probably thought we didn't see that, but we see everything here, Yankees fans. In the bottom of the fifth inning, Ben Rice smoked one off the right field wall. His swing is noticeably harder than last year. He led the Grapefruit League in exit velocity. That one was 103.7, same speed as the Wells home run. And the Yankees threatened in the fifth inning. 2 on for Aaron Judge, but Freddie Peralta was empty in the tank. I thought he was going to make a mistake. He was basically just trying to amp up fastballs, trying to blow Judge away, and that's not usually a great strategy. That's how Judge turns a lot of, tired pitchers into, guys who just gave up a 3-run home run and are hitting the shower. And I thought that was going to happen, but he got one by Judge and got out of the threat. Mark Leiter Jr. turned in a really good performance today. He was sporting the goatee, which I like, but not everyone loves.
Hey, calling in for the first time. Watching an opening day. I just wanted to get ahead of this. Leiter's got to shave, man. I don't like that on him. Yeah, I'm watching it right now. It's top 7. He just turned around after a nice pitch, and oh no, I don't like that. It's a little too Red Soxy. I don't know. I was okay with Rodons and Dominguez. I really thought I wasn't going to care about this, but here I am. Oh, that's terrible. They just put him on screen again. Yeah, sorry, bud. Leiter's got to shave. That's all I got to say. Happy that baseball's back. Go Yanks. Chase for 28.
I appreciate the call. Even if you're ripping on Mark Leiter. Judge doubled in the 7th to make it 3-1, and then Bellinger with a productive out, a sac fly to make it 4-1. That was the end of the scoring for the Yankees. Oswaldo Cabrera challenged Jackson Churrio's arm and got the better of him. Churrio had a tough day. I mean, he had a great season last year as a rookie, but he went 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts, and he failed to throw out that runner. And he struck out in a big spot in the 9th inning against Devin Williams. Top 8, Luke Weaver in the game. Been a long time since we played this sound effect. He looked great. Austin Wells took a foul tip off the right shoulder, was kind of shook up for a minute. And catchers used to wear a flap over their right shoulder. I have an old catcher's, chest protector somewhere, and it has the flap over both shoulders, so that you don't take one off of that. I don't know what it's called, the bone in your shoulder there. But he doesn't wear one. It's his choice, probably because he can throw a little bit better without it. But that's the type of thing that over the course of the season will build up, and it can kind of tamp down a catcher's offensive production. Those injuries build up. But a scoreless 8th inning for Luke Weaver. And then the debut of the bearded airbender, Devin Williams, who collectively killed about probably 80 to 85 Yankees fans with heart attacks. If you were watching this and you're 85, 90 years old, and you're a diehard Yankees fan, you just died hard, unfortunately. But he needed to bend the air a little bit more. He served up a run. His final line, 1 inning, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, so his ERA is 9. But he's doing better than Clay Holmes. Clay Holmes had a tough day for the Mets as the opening day starter. At least the Yankees pick up a win.
Game over. Yankees win. Yankees win.
Got a couple of quick super chats here. Louis Penafiel says, I will make it short. Let's go Yankees. I appreciate that. And then Charlie Moore says, welcome back, everyone. And now for most people's favorite part of the show. And, we're getting to it a little bit earlier than I had expected, but we're going to hand out the belt. The belt is what we give out to the player of the game. We don't give out anything after awards. We toyed around with doing like a bum of the day, but it got really poor reception in spring training. You guys didn't like it. I'm a man of the people. I'm sure we'll make up some other awards along the way, maybe a bozo of the day, I don't know. But today we do have a belt winner. It was a tough decision. I thought about Wells because he set history. First catcher to lead off opening day with a home run. First Yankee to lead off opening day with a home run. I thought about Volpe, homered in his first at bat. But ultimately, there was one man who stood out head and shoulders above the rest, and that man is Carlos Rodon. Your first belt winner of the 2025 season. We'll have a ticker once we put more of them together, once we get more belt winners. But as of right now, Frankie Baseball is keeping track of the belt winners, and we'll tally everything up at the end of the season just like we did last year. And we'll talk more about Carlos Rodon in just a minute, but he really set the tone. I thought he pitched very effectively. The stuff was great. And like Joe Girardi said, I think he feels more comfortable in his own skin with the beard. I think that's something that we're going to see, going forward. He's going to rock the beard. And again, just a reminder, you can get Pinstripe Territory on the go on all your favorite podcast platforms. As soon as the show is over, I convert it to audio and we upload it to the podcast platform. So if you wake up in the morning, you don't have time to catch the recap after a late game, listen to it on the subway, listen to it on your drive to work or your ride to school on the bus. Let's go ahead and get to the pitcher spotlight.
Pitcher spotlight.
Our opening day starter, the $161 million man, Carlos Rodon. It's been a bit up and down for him in his Yankees career, but I have no complaints about him today. The pitch mix I thought was excellent. His slider was filthy out of the gate, made Jackson Churrio look silly all game. 1-2-3 first inning, pitched around a bloop single in the second inning, served up a solo home run in the third inning to Vinny Capra, who was red hot in spring training. 94-mile-an-hour fastball just got too much of the plate and it got hammered. He made Churrio look ridiculous again in his second at bat with a nasty changeup. We've been saying that he needs to break out a changeup, and today he threw 18 changeups. That is a big deal. he's been needing to change speeds more, have something that moves away from righties, because a lot of what he throws is hard stuff in, sliders in, hard fastballs high, cutters. Having a changeup that's going to sink low and away is good. He also threw 11 sinkers today. That's going to kind of tail down and low and away. I think Bearded Rodon is going to be a big pickup for the Yankees this year. Val in NY says, Williams, 36 pitches. Glad the Yankees have a day off tomorrow. Absolutely agree with you on that one. I thought the slider from Rodon was about as sharp as we've ever seen him. The curveball backdoor was good. Obviously that's something that Andy Pettitte used to do that I loved. Andy Pettitte was working a lot with Max Fried this spring. You got to imagine he's been working with Carlos Rodon for the last couple of years. And maybe that's something that finally got through. Hey, use that breaking ball early in the count. Pitch backwards a little bit. Throw that first pitch curveball and get ahead with strike one. He made a really nice play on a slow roller in the fourth inning. That's something that's difficult, more difficult for a left-handed pitcher, but it's difficult for pitchers in general to come in and make that throw. You have to run, you have to throw while your momentum is moving inward. And it's even tougher for a left-handed pitcher because you've got to spin and throw to first base because his arm is facing first base. So he's got to make a decision. Do I spin, to my right, or do I spin to my left? And he made the play. He was done after 5 1/3 innings, 4 hits allowed, 1 run on the home run, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. You see the numbers on your screen, but if you're listening to the audio version of the podcast, 12 swings and misses, 89 pitches, 58 strikes. Max velocity was 96.3, so the velo is still there, and it will get better. We saw him touch 98, 99 a lot during the postseason. And I think it's a good sign that he's throwing hard early, even though he's, not fully, in mid-season form yet. The arm is still lively. All right, let's move on to topic number 3, Yankees debuts. So I mentioned debuts today for Goldschmidt and Bellinger. Scary moment for Goldschmidt in the first inning, pop-up, and the wind was nasty today, and he had trouble with it. He reeled it in, but you could see that his heart was pounding, man. It was like, it was kind of like Devin Williams was on the mound. Just a heart attack there. But he caught it. He reeled it in. Goldie went hitless. Bellinger went 1 for 2 with a walk and a sac fly, and obviously Devin Williams had a tough day. I love opening day, and I love when someone makes their Yankees debut. And whether it's a rookie making their major league debut or a new free agent or somebody that we traded for, it's just something special about seeing somebody in the pinstripes for the first time. And I don't count spring training. I know they wear pinstripes more in spring training, but it just hits different when you got a packed Yankee Stadium, 50,000 people in the stands instead of 10,000. I thought it would be fun to talk about some of my favorite all-time debuts and some of my more memorable opening days and just see where you guys are at. And maybe you guys can share in the chat. This is a podcast. It's not just a recap, not just videos. We want to share stories. We want to build engagement with the community. So tell us in the chat what your favorite opening day memories are or your worst. Obviously, there was Jeter in 96 with the home run and the great play. He had come up in 95, so it wasn't his major league debut, but it was his debut as the Yankees starting shortstop. He won the Rookie of the Year that year. Hit the big home run that Rizzuto called. Oh, he got that one. And then he made the great over-the-shoulder catch. And then in 03, he was trying to take third base on opening day, and he kind of had his arm stepped on, and he ended up dislocating his shoulder, and he missed some time. That was against the Blue Jays, and that was the debut of Hideki Matsui. A lot of people think that Matsui's grand slam was actually on opening day, but it was actually opening day at Yankee Stadium. They actually opened up in Toronto that year, and his first hit was an opposite field single off of Roy Halladay. Not sure why I remember that one, but I do. John Carlos Stanton also had a couple of home runs in Toronto in his debut. I remember I was super hyped for that. I was going nuts. A-Rod, after the big trade, made his debut in Japan against the Rays. I remember waking up at like 5 a.m. to watch the game. Yankees have debuted against the Blue Jays a lot, and I remember a lot of them. Masahiro Tanaka made his debut in Toronto as well against the Blue Jays. I was so into the Tanaka sweepstakes that winter, and when they signed him to that 7-year, $155 million deal, I was hyped. And then he gave, he was coming off of a 1.27 ERA in Japan. And so you figure this guy's going to be dominant. And then he gives up a 2-run home run in the first inning. So right away, that blew up his ERA. But he ended up pitching a really good game. I think he went 7 innings and 2 runs, had like 7 or 8 strikeouts, and beat the Blue Jays. Picked up a win. He actually started off 6-0 that year. He had a stretch where he didn't lose for a long time. CC Sabathia, another debut that I was looking forward to after the Yankees signed him, headed into the 2009 season. And he made his debut against the Orioles, and it was awful. He had a tough day. I had just gotten my dog, CC, and we watched it together. CC actually passed away, the dog, not the pitcher, last year on opening day at Yankee Stadium. So that was a tough one. That was a tough memory. Randy Johnson's debut was one that I was psyched for in 2005. After the 2004 collapse, any baseball will do, but getting Randy Johnson was super cool, especially when he, almost fought a reporter getting off the plane, basically. And then he pitched against the Red Sox. MLB matched that up, and he was terrific. But that was pretty much the high point of his Yankees career, honestly. Didn't really have a lot of double-digit strikeout games with the Yankees. The velocity was down. 96 opening day at Yankee Stadium was cool. 98 opening day at Yankee Stadium. 17-13 win over the Oakland Athletics. El Duque in 98 was an awesome debut. He came with all the mysteries surrounding his defection from Cuba, and then completely dominated the Tampa Bay Rays at Yankee Stadium. That one is on the S Classics all the time, and you can watch it on YouTube. They have that in high def. The Martian going deep in his debut against Justin Verlander got me hyped. Judge and Tyler Austin, who could forget that, going back-to-back in their first Major League at-bats. I think that's the only time that's ever happened. And then Garrett Cole's debut after COVID. We had to wait so long for COVID, the season didn't begin until July. And then Giancarlo Stanton hit a 483-foot home run in that game. So just a few of those are my favorite Yankees moments or more memorable moments from debuts or opening days over the years. But congrats to Paul Goldschmidt and Cody Bellinger. Flash from the past there. First games as Yankees, and Devin Williams, I guess. And Max Fried will make his Yankees debut on Saturday. All right, let's get a couple of more comments here. Richard C. says, Juan Soto left on base all day. Let's go ahead and pull up the games here. I'm looking at the Mets game. They're down 3-0 in the 8th inning. Man, that Mets offense sure is intimidating. 6 hits. Clay Holmes, 4 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 4 walks. There's the Clay Holmes that we remember. Oh, yeah. And, it looks like they're down. It looked like the Orioles were absolutely crushing the Blue Jays. They won 12-2. And, again, we do have a ticker here in the back, which right now it's not showing any scores, but it will rotate through the scores, and as the year goes on, we'll add the standings back in. Charlie Moore says, Yanks are going to be a team that fights for every game. That's all we can ask for. 100% agree. Jim Sherlock says, do you think the Yankees are going to be all right? Well, not that my opinion means anything about the future, but I do think that we can go ahead and make our predictions now. 2025 predictions. You guys have been asking for this. I don't typically have a lot of success with my long-term predictions. I'm better at day-to-day stuff, matchups and stuff, which we will do more of. But I wanted to give you guys my predictions for the year. Now, keep in mind, you can't predict baseball. A wise man once said you can't predict baseball season, or Susan, but can't predict baseball season either. But every year, people pester me to make predictions, so we're going to do it. And my predictions might not necessarily line up with what you want to happen or what, as a Yankee fan, I want to happen, but I also don't want to jinx things. So I got the Yankees winning the East. I got the Tigers winning the Central, the Rangers winning the West. Wild cards in the American League, Red Sox, Royals, and Guardians. Got the Orioles missing the playoffs. They, I think, just losing too much pitching, even though they had a good day today. Blue Jays not going to make the playoffs. And then Tigers over the Yankees in the ALCS. Again, their pitching is phenomenal. They have Tariq Skubal, who has won a couple of, or he won a Cy Young last year, has a chance to win another this year. In the National League, Phillies, Reds, and Dodgers, the division winners. Braves, Padres, and Cubs, the wild cards. Braves over Dodgers. I got the Braves topping the Dodgers in the NLCS. And then the Braves over the Tigers in the World Series. And then I said that pretty weird. My award winners: Judge, MVP; Tatis, MVP in the National League; Garrett Crochet, spelled wrong on my graphic. Copy, autocorrect there. It's supposed to be 2 T's and Garrett Crochet, but I got Crochet winning the Cy Young. Blake Snell winning it in the National League. I got Dominguez, who had a tough day today, winning the American League Rookie of the Year, and Roki Sasaki winning the National League Rookie of the Year. So that's where we're at. All right, let's take a few more comments here as we prepare for a long season. Lori C says, this team is more athletic than we have had in a very long time. 100% agree. Lori, entering her 4th or 5th year as a mod on this channel. NYY Empire says, Belly, 30 home runs. I hope so, but honestly, I think he's going to be super athletic and help the Yankees in a lot of ways beyond just home runs. Take a few more comments in just a moment. We have a whole section dedicated to that. But first, a quick word from the sponsor. Got to pay the bills. True Classic. I got to give a shout out to today's sponsor, True Classic. If you're looking for clothes that don't break the bank and actually fit, True Classic is the move. I am wearing a True Classic shirt right now. Since they sent me a package of them, I've been wearing them pretty much nonstop because they are so comfortable. They're light. They fit well. As you can see, they form to the body well. I've lost a bunch of weight lately, and I just needed some transitional clothing, and they came along at the perfect time. They have long sleeves. They have short sleeves. It's great for taking a walk, for when you go to the gym, or when you're just hanging around the backyard with your dog. So whether you are layering up and getting ready for winter, or trying to relax and enjoy the cool breeze in the springtime or the summertime, True Classic is the way to go. Visit trueclassic.com/stripe. trueclassic.com/stripe and elevate your wardrobe today. All right, we got a couple of comments here. So we got some comments about Joe Buck. A lot of people didn't like Joe Buck. I like Joe Buck. I missed Joe Buck. I was glad to have him back. T-Boss56 says he sounded like an AI voice. I disagree. I mean, you know, to each their own, but I thought he was pretty good. Aaron Sheen says the young talent needed to step up big in Game 1 is a great sign of it. And then Richard C says Belly with more WAR so far than Soto. We'll see if that holds true over the course of the season, but, you know, that would be nice. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on Juan Soto to live up to that contract. I really do. But, you know, I can't blame him for taking the deal. I mean, it sounded like he had a little bit of regret in spring training. It sounded like, you know, he misses the Yankees. I think he does miss the Yankees, but, you know, his agent probably pressured him to take the highest possible deal. And his family was Mets fans. Apparently his mother was a Mets fan, and they wanted him to play with the Mets. And apparently it's more family friendly, which I disagree with. But hey, he had a chance to come back to the Yankees, and he decided, you know, not to. He decided he wanted to be elsewhere. I thought Anthony Volpe had some good swings today. I thought that you know, obviously Austin Wells had some good at-bats beyond the home run. He had a walk. T-Boss says Costas is terrible. Now, Costas has definitely lost his fastball. For sure. Richard C. says, bases juiced, nobody out for the Mets versus Hader. It's interesting that Hader has struggled so much with the Astros. How did Cam Smith do today? So Cam Smith is a young guy who got traded. He got drafted last year, and he got traded as part of the Kyle Tucker deal, so I've been keeping an eye on him. He went 1 for 3 today, and he's new to the outfield. He went 1 for 3, so he picked up his first big league hit. Altuve 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Gee, that's too bad. So we'll keep this an eye on this Mets game. But next Thursday, I believe it's the 3rd, it's Arizona, next Thursday night. There's a new event that's going to be happening where you'll be able to watch the game live on your computer with me and the Foul Territory crew. We got Flava Fraze, Todd Frazier, and Cameron Maben, and I believe Scott Braun is going to be on there too. And then afterwards, we'll have somebody on to do the postgame with me, a 2-person postgame show. But you'll be able to watch the game right there on your computer. I don't think it's been announced yet by Foul Territory, so I don't want to spill the beans on the platform. But keep an eye out for that. I'll give you guys more of a heads up and more of a notice as we move forward. But hey, Yankees win on opening day.
More of that, please.
And I will be back with a voicemail show tomorrow around 10:30 in the morning. Call in 718-899-1068. And again, 1-0, on pace for 162-0, and Wells and Volpe both on pace for 162 home runs. Appreciate everybody who tuned in. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Hey, while I've got you here, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Pinstripe Territory is the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We are home to the #1 most watched MLB postgame show on YouTube since 2021. We're here after every Yankees game and for reactions to all the best news and rumors during the offseason. Be a part of the show by calling into the voicemail 718-899-1068. Try to keep it clean for me. And if you ever miss us on YouTube, be sure and subscribe on all your favorite podcast platforms. Go ahead and rate us 5 stars. It'll help other people find the show. Thanks for watching. See ya.